And welcome back to Tuesday. I'm recording so much today that because the internet is currently out at my house because the cable's out, and they're connected. I'm doing here, so I don't know how much time I'll have tomorrow and Wednesday because I will be spending time with my girlfriend a lot during the next few days. And there's nothing wrong with that. I want to spend time with my girlfriend, but I also have a schedule to keep. So I'm trying to pre-record a lot of my smaller videos now, and then I'll be able to just upload them tomorrow and then the next day. But from Nevada, Cedra, we have who wins in a fight? Shimu, Monster vs. Kaiju from Godzilla X Kong New Empire, versus MechaGodzilla. Now, I did not see a specification of which MechaGodzilla, but my guess is you were referring to the MonsterVerse version of MechaGodzilla, because if you weren't, I'm giving it to MechaGodzilla right out the gate, because Kiryu, which is the MechaGodzilla from the Millennium series, can take an absolute zero cannon, which literally can bring things down to absolute zero. It literally detonated in the Kaiju's face, and it survived it. So, yeah, it wins. Even though Shimu dwarfs that version of MechaGodzilla in terms of size, it dwarfs it, because Shimu dwarfs even Godzilla in size. And Godzilla in the Legendary verse is close to 400 feet tall. Not quite there, but he's like just on the cusp. He's like within 10 feet of 400 feet tall. And Shimu is... Godzilla, I think, stands like a head taller than Shimu. Like, it is... He stands tall, but Shimu, in terms of sheer size and bulk, is just like twice as large as Godzilla. Shimu is huge. Huge enough that Kong, who is roughly speaking the same height as Godzilla, can ride the damn thing. Now, that being said, Shimu is actually relatively peaceful. When we meet Shimu, it's been caught and captured by the Scar King and is being tortured to do what the Scar King wants. It is stated to be the kaiju that brought the Ice Age and be the one that actually froze Ghidorah in the ice. This thing is a match for Ghidorah, of all people. When base Godzilla struggles with Ghidorah, without a damp. In the water, Godzilla was actually going to kill Ghidorah. The creator said if the military had not intervened, he would have won that fight. But on land, it was a lot more in Ghidorah's favor, and then obviously Godzilla got his amp, whatever. But yeah, she was the one who just straight out said, no, and then froze him in ice. So Shimo is tough enough to take on the strongest of kaiju without any difficulty. Mind you, though, in terms of like with Godzilla's new amp, like Evolved Godzilla, the pink scales, all that, Godzilla actually really wasn't struggling that much. Yeah, size-wise, Shimu still had the size advantage and power, physical power. Godzilla could even toss around, not like throw it around, but knock Shimu around. When you watch that fight again, Godzilla was actually never in any real threat from Shimu. Yeah, he got frozen in the fight, but he flexed his power and just cracked out of there. He undid the storm Shimu started just by firing an atomic blast up there. So Shimu, I would not go so far as to say Shimu is the strongest kaiju anymore. I think Godzilla now surpasses Shimu. If we were looking at, say, 2014, like that Godzilla, or say even King of the Monsters Godzilla, you can make an argument Shimu surpasses that Godzilla. There's a firm argument for that. This leads us into MechaGodzilla. Now, I heard so many people get pissed off with like the whole rock, paper, scissors of that fight. Well, wait. So Godzilla loses to Mecha King Ghidorah, or MechaGodzilla, but then Kong beats MechaGodzilla. How the hell does that work? It's like, so they, first off, if anyone's not, that's the comment from someone who's not paying attention to the damn film. So first off, Mecha King Ghidorah was designed to be better than Godzilla, and did throw Godzilla around. It had energy fists, plasma, it had its own energy breath, it had drill tail, it had missiles, it was extremely powerful, it took on Kong and Godzilla at the same time, nearly, in fact, killed Godzilla, until Kong intervened and helped him out. And even, and then, just to clear this up for anyone who still thinks this is bullshit, Godzilla had just gone 3 rounds in basically one freaking day with Kong. Won the first one on sea. He was pretty much fine. Had lost the second one after blasting a hole to the center of the freaking planet. Then took a lot of hits from Kong. Kong wasn't going down with that fight and landed good shots on Godzilla. but Godzilla ultimately won that fight. So he won 3 rounds with Kong. We used up about half his power just to blow that hole to the center of the planet. I think the director even confirmed that. And so he's going against Mecha King Ghidorah, nowhere near full power. He's probably more like at 30-40% at that point. And so the fact that he could put up any sort of fight at all was nothing short of impressive. So of course MechaGodzilla, which to be fair, Ghidorah's mind kind of influenced it, so it was Mecha King Ghidorah to a degree. But so of course MechaGodzilla was gonna beat the crap out of him. And then Kong only won, in case anyone was actually watching the damn movie, by getting his amp and his axe from Godzilla's breath, which allowed him to actually cut MechaGodzilla down to size. And also, MechaGodzilla didn't really have any, what's the word I'm looking for? Any battle strategies to deal with Kong. He was designed to kill the kaiju that they had available, skull crawlers, all that, and Godzilla, not Kong, as far as we know. That one's debatable. You can debate that one. But the fact remains, they had to work together to beat the damn thing. Yeah, they get Kong to win because he lost to Godzilla, sure. But Godzilla was paramount for that victory. My God. Sorry, to this day, I still see people who talk about that. It's like, are you an idiot? Are you really just not paying attention to the movie? Oh my God. Anyway, so I say all this because MechaGodzilla was strong enough to be a weakened Godzilla who beat Kong, who was stronger than either his 2014 counterpart or probably even his King of the Monsters counterpart, minus the burning Godzilla form. But again, that was a weakened Godzilla, and he was still going toe-to-toe with both Kong and Godzilla, who were both tired out. Whether or not he would have beaten the full power Godzilla, fresh, ready to go, is debatable. Because Godzilla has beaten MechaGodzilla before in other mediums. So it stands to reason that he could theoretically do it if he was fresh and ready to go. But the fact is, MechaGodzilla is still exceptionally strong and powerful. But he is roughly the same size as Godzilla. So right out of the gate, there's a size advantage going to Shimu. Also, despite all of his weaponry, as far as we can tell, he doesn't have a weapon or an advantage against ice-based attacks. He's still apparently very much, as far as we can tell, he'd be vulnerable to that, which wouldn't theoretically be a problem unless his gears and his electrics just start to freeze up. Because Shimu's ice is cold as all hell. It caused straight up frostbite and possible nerve damage on Kong's hand. Hence why he has to use that glove now. And Godzilla, who, yes, is durable enough and has the skin to basically survive that, he had to heat himself up to break out of there. He still was kind of frozen for a little bit, but not as badly as Shimu got frozen. Because Shimu literally got frozen to the point where he just shattered. Or not Shimu, Scar King. Scar King got frozen to the point where he shattered. So, but that also doesn't mean that MechaGodzilla doesn't have a way around that, because he does have energy-based attacks. He does have a heat beam that would probably hurt Shimu quite a bit. I think though if Shimu was straight out pissed off, it can muscle MechaGodzilla around, because it is straight out large. Shimu is just straight out larger by a large margin than MechaGodzilla. And MechaGodzilla isn't, as far as we know, designed to handle something that large. They didn't even know Shimu existed until it came to the surface. So it doesn't have any sort of battle records or data on Shimu, which is a disadvantage in its part. Add on the fact that this is the thing that still froze Ghidorah in the ice and could easily, and shattered Scar King when Kong basically decided to just break him. If Shimu not only lands ice blasts on MechaGodzilla and if they're close range ice blasts, all bets are off. I'd give that to Shimu, because there's only so much wear and tear that those weapons that machine can handle. And yes, it can take probably blasts from Godzilla's atomic breath to a certain degree, but it never actually took a straight on hit from Godzilla's atomic breath. It ended up getting its body chopped up by Kong's axe, amped by Godzilla's radiation. So it actually stands to reason that there's a good argument that it could straight out lose if it got hit by a direct blast from Godzilla. Because it's not like this metal is like adamantium or something like that. It's good metal. It's durable metal. It can take shots, no doubt about it. But high energy shots or high powered shots from like a range attack like Shimu or Godzilla at his peak, I don't think it survives that. So ultimately, while MechaGodzilla certainly has the weaponry to hurt Shimu, and if it gets a point blank shot, it would not be good for Shimu. But the fact is, Godzilla, as far as I remember, did land atomic blast shots on Shimu. I haven't watched the fight in a while. I definitely will have to go back and watch. And Shimu certainly was hurt, but it didn't straight out kill Shimu. I think it could survive some shots from MechaGodzilla. And if that's the case, Shimu is ultimately going to win the battle of attrition. It wins the battle of bulk. And it wins the overall firepower battle, too. So ultimately, I got to go Shimu. But this is just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Can't wait to see what Godzilla and Kong Supernova is going to look like. And I am, like a lot of people, hoping and praying that it's going to have Space Godzilla, a version of it. Although Gigan would be cool, too. I'd like to see some justice for Gigan because he does kind of get shit on in the series a little bit. But, yeah, let me know what you think. Do you agree MechaGodzilla or do you go Shimu? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.